really sad to hear that the legal tail still tends to wag the dog sometimes. It's sad. The more money that's involved in a healthcare claim, it seems the more complex the efforts become in trying to obtain payment these days. And we had, with Mia's case, some fairly extraordinary claims. A van and a driver to make Mia's life as full and complete as it could be so that she could be transported. Iowa City, unfortunately, unlike Berkeley's public transportation system, isn't everything that you want. And we fought, and like I said, Mia was a real leader. She led by example. I was pretty green at the time, and she helped me. She bucked me up a bit along the way, and we took that issue all the way to the Supreme Court and won it. Modifications of the home and other things, and we were hugely successful. Oftentimes, the bully pulpit, sometimes you just say you were going to take this to the press, and the insurance carrier would fold up and go away. So it was, frankly, it was my blessing to help me as much as I could. And like I said, she was always a courageous person, stood right up to it, and it was her way of leading the charge for people who faced some barriers to being able to do things as easily as other people.
I thought I'd reflect just for a moment on the film, or I should say, on the experience of watching the film. I imagine that some of you in this room went through, had similar thoughts as the film proceeded. I'm sure some of you were here on the day that the events took place. There were several things that caught my attention about the film. One of them obviously was that I was seeing people I hadn't seen for a long time, but coming back, flashes of things that I'd forgotten. What struck me, I think, the most was the fact that the film is so multi-leveled. It's not a film that shouts at you. It's as if the film reflects Mia's own life and her own personality. In a way, the film is very subtle, it's very quiet, and the messages, and I say messages in plural, that the film has for us, and hopefully for the viewers on PBS later on, will come across. In the last year or so, this nation has seen so many tragic events with guns, assault weapons, even on university campuses and elsewhere. And even though that was not a major theme in the movie, I think what it is, or that theme permeates the entire movie. Because each time you would see Miya and see her courage, see the way that she was able to live all those years in a very productive way, never feeling sorry for herself. And yet, when you see that each time, you think, why did it happen? And I'll stop there.
Well, I had many of the same reactions that Ross did, but I guess for me, it was sort of, I hadn't had much contact with Miya after the shootings, and it was sort of wonderful for me to see how she seemed in very basic ways as the same person I had known beforehand, that she had not lost, her, what seemed to be her essential personality, her curiosity about the world, her activism, her sense of humor.
It's really hard to know what to say, actually. I think the film said so much. I don't think that I have anything really to add, except I think we really owe Daniel a huge debt of gratitude for jumping in and documenting her life. Because if he hadn't reacted when he did and mobilized all of his forces and everything and given out more than a year of his life to dedicate to this project, so much of what Miya lived and Miya did would have just existed in our memories. And he put together a puzzle for all of us, because all of us knew bits of Miya, but I think everybody here learned something about her that we didn't know either through this project or through watching the film. And I just am incredibly grateful to you for that.
Thanks, Daniel.
And I hope Mia's out there somewhere listening to this, because she needs to know how much we all appreciated her. Just a great person.
Well, I'm going to keep this brief. Like I've been speaking a lot regarding Miya this week. I think I heard Lori say it at the Brown Bag luncheon. And I've been saying at her memorial and other events, she made me a better recycler. She made me a better activist. But I think Lori hit it the other day. She made me a better person. Through her example of strength and her selflessness. She made all of us better people.
Thanks for letting me talk. I agree with that. And I don't want to be crass, but I'm going to take a moment because Daniel hasn't pointed it out yet, but the movie was produced by a nonprofit organization, and anyone who is interested in supporting the film, I know that it's tax week, and this might be critical for some. Looking ahead to this time next year, if you make a donation to support the film, it will be a tax deductible purchase. Change the mood there, but I want to get that out. I did want to acknowledge that she isn't here tonight because of her own family emergency, but Consuelo Garcia, who was on the staff at the Women's Resource and Action Center at the time of the shootings, coordinated along with many people, including, I see paperwork up there somewhere, a community-wide effort to raise, it was almost $300,000 to the Miya and General Assistance Fund that you may have noticed the vintage cans from when you came in. And Consuelo wanted to be here, but her son broke his leg the other day, and she's not able to be here. So I wanted to acknowledge the effort that she put in those days following the shooting to make that effort possible, and thank her retrospectively for that. And like you said, Miya was a very remarkable individual and a very kind and caring and gentle person. And even as a student, it was clear that there was something special about her. And watching this film and learning things that the depths to her that I had no idea were even there, it was even more remarkable to find out all of that information and to see her wonderful family and her wonderful friends, and we will certainly miss her. Thank you, Daniel, for making this up. Yes, is there anyone who would like to share some thoughts?
Yeah.
I think